Hi everyone, Voyager here, and today we will begin our new series, The History of the Great Western Railway Fleet. And we will begin with Hitachi's British Rail Class 800 and Class 802. My reasoning for including both of these is because they're pretty much the same train, except the 802 has more horsepower and can carry more fuel. So without further ado, let's begin. We begin our story on the Great Western and East Coast main lines. In the 2010s, these main lines comprised of a large fleet of British Rail Class 43 HSTs and British Rail Class 91 Intercity 225 sets. The Class 43, for example, while they were still strong and reliable machines, they were beginning to age, with some being nearly 40 years old. On the 12th of February 2009, Agility Trains, a consortium of Hitachi, was announced by the Department of Transportation to be the preferred bidder of these new trains. An order of about 596 carriages was made on July 2012 for both the East Coast and Great Western main lines, with a £1.2 billion option for a further 30 9-car electric fleet to replace the Intercity 225s made on the 18th of July 2013. Hitachi chose the site of Newton Aycliffe in County Durham to be an assembly plant. However, manufacturing would take place overseas. The plant would assemble these completed trains into full train sets. The first complete train left Japan's Kasado factory on the 7th of January 2015 and arrived on the 11th of March 2015 at Southampton in the south of England. After the delivery, the prototype Class 800s ran tests on the old Dolby test track in early 2015 in order to see them fit for revenue service. However, in mid-2015, controversy started up after the National Union of Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers, or RMT Union, voted for a 48-hour strike on First Great Western due to First Great Western planning to operate the Class 800s without the use of a guard or buffet car. However, this was resolved as First Great Western did not go ahead with the plans to remove guards from their intercity services when the Class 800s would enter service. Meanwhile, in March 2016, the first East Coast unit for Virgin Trains East Coast was unveiled at London King's Cross Station, being named Azuma, meaning East in Japanese. The Class 800 has a length of 26 meters or 85 feet and 3 5/8 inches. The width is 2.7 meters or 8 feet and 10 1/4 inches. The max design speed is 140 miles per hour, but they're limited to an in-service speed of 125 miles an hour. Each 5-car unit weighs 243 tons and each 9-car unit weighs 438 tons. Their prime mover is an MTU 12V 1600 RAEL engine with a 21-litre V12 turbo diesel engine type with 12 cylinders, and each engine gives a rating of 750 horsepower. These trains can run on both the UK's 25 kV AC overhead system, or they can run on their own diesel engines whenever necessary. Great Western Railway's Class 800 fleet came into service on the 16th of October 2017, being named Intercity Express Train or IET. However, on its first inaugural service, the unit operating suffered late run-in due to teething problems and a faulty air conditioning unit discharging water into a carriage. Following further teething issues, a decision was made to temporarily remove the fleet from service on the 19th of October 2017 to combat the problems, and they re-entered service a day later. The trains ran intercity services between London Paddington and the southwest, to destinations such as Bristol, Weston-super-Mare, Taunton and Exeter, and also places in South Wales to Cardiff, Swansea and as far as Pembroke Dock on extended summer services. The IETs also saw service in the Cotswold area, running to Oxford, Worcester, Cheltenham, Malvern and Hereford, replacing the Great Western Adelante fleet, which would later transfer to Arriva Grand Central. The only areas the Class 800 didn't serve was part of Devon and Cornwall, due to the challenging gradients that they would have to face. To combat this, larger and more powerful engines would be needed. These additional 173 vehicles, as well as a further 150 extra, will be built in Hitachi's Italian Pistoia plant after the buyout of Ansolo Breda, with the first unit being completed in February 2018. These would be classed as the British Rail Class 802. Mechanically, they were superior to the Class 800. Due to their upgraded engines and larger fuel tanks, they could climb the steeper gradients of Devon and Cornwall, meaning they could finally reach Penzance, Paignton and Plymouth, as well as other southwest destinations. As well as being powerhouses in Devon and Cornwall, they could also supplement the numbers of the Class 800 in South Wales, Cotswolds and Bristol. The Class 800s and Class 802s are maintained at London's North Pole, Bristol's Stoke Gifford and Swansea's Maliphant depots. Back onto the Class 802s, once again they were largely the same as the Class 800s, except for the upgraded power of 940 horsepower per engine. They would begin to enter service with Great Western Railway on the 18th of August 2018 and continued to enter service as of this day. On to a different topic, the Class 800s and Class 802s have never caused a fatality. However, they have had issues stopping and crashing into buffers. One such case happened at London Paddington, when an IET smacked into the buffers at a relatively low speed. No one was injured, but the front of the train was slightly damaged. Nevertheless, they will always be a key member of the Great Western Railway fleet, and will continue to serve all the destinations outside of London. And it doesn't matter if you love them or hate them, they will always be the backbone of Great Western Railway's intercity fleet.
Abbott, Totnes and Plymouth. This train has 4 coaches. An at-seat service of light refreshments is available on the train. Platform 1.